This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a man back for a 15th NFL season. Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants face up with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Quincy Wilson in on the stop. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
Now Manning throwing on second down. Looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now we'll carry for Mack. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Giants taking the field again here. And, you know, this is a team that got off to that woeful 1-7 start. They rallied a bit in the second half of the season here to get a few wins, but I don't think playing spoiler is what Pat Shurmur had in mind for his first season.
No, I don't believe that as well, and I think there were a lot of visions of going from worst to first in their division. But Pat Shurmur's head coach, in addition to Saquon Barkley, and getting the offense back on track with Odell Beckham Jr. being healthy again. But I go back to the Saquon Barkley move, picking him number 2 in the draft last year. Still hear criticism that the Giants should have taken a quarterback and built that way. They took the best rookie in the draft who's played above expectations. I would make the same pick every single time and find a way to build around it.
Manning now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Manning gonna throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
This is fielded at the 27. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Well, Charles, the Indianapolis Colts, you remember this year they started 1-5. That was back on October 14th. That was their record. And then you look up after Week 15, that 22-0 win over Dallas that you called, and they really have turned this season around. How have they done it?
What they've done is they've stayed the course. You know, from the general manager to the head coach, Frank Reich, they had a plan in place. They understood what they were trying to accomplish. They waited for some guys to get healthy. And Andrew Luck's right arm got healthier and healthier. And that team really came together. They've now won 7 out of their last 8 after Week 15. And if they get into the playoffs, they're a type of team that no one really wants to play.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. A shotgun snap for Luck. And he's got Rodgers. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. On first down, it's Luck. Ebron caught left side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
53.
From the 50, it's Long. And he connects with Ebron. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play caller, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Love. And he's got his man Hilton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Hilton's first catch, good for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Out of the gun, Luck. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Ryan Graham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. The 30 to the 33-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On play action, now Manning. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, that's the kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise, because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. 2 minutes minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboards. He finds his target, Beckham. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he can't quite corral it defensively. Maybe some space to go the other direction if he had caught it. That brings up 4th down now. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, partner, league-wide, I think we're set up for a wild month of January. It seems like this season, more than others, we've had a number of teams that you maybe say, hey, they're the Super Bowl favorites. Kind of the Rams early, then it was the Chiefs. Patriots kept winning, and the Saints, and now, heck, maybe even the Texans or the Bears could claim that moniker.
Yeah, it's going to make for a wild month of January. And you just wonder right now, are we missing a team or two that's just a little bit outside the playoff hunt? Could they get hot and be those teams you don't want to play and carry that momentum all the way to the Super Bowl? Yes, I'm looking at the Indianapolis Colts as one of those teams.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
On 1st down, Manning. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Hey, we got a second here. Let's go back to Week 15 following the win over Green Bay for Chicago. Happiness rained down on the field. The Bears claiming the NFC North title, but one Bear took his celebration to an extreme. I know you saw this.
Yes, I certainly did. Charles Leno Jr., left tackle for the Chicago Bears, got down on a knee and proposed to his girlfriend Jennifer. So not only celebrating an NFC North title, but now his proposal accepted by Jennifer, who will now be Mrs. Jennifer Leno Jr.? No Jr.
No, Junior. By the way, smart move because she's not going to say no in front of 60,000 people.
Well, I've seen it happen before. Not pretty, but not in this case.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. And as they come towards halftime, it's the Eagles who have the lead in that one. Carson Wentz with a touchdown pass there. From there, we'll head to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. John Ross, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. In our game has been the play of Eli Manning. That's been the story so far. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still on attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, but sometimes it can break big.
Man open right side. It's Rodgers. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Love. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And it's 3rd and 5.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now Love. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is fielded at the 7. Oh, able to avoid him. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Left side is Beckham. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Manning. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up fourth. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Love. Incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Throwing on third down. Love. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Manning now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Manning to throw. Coleman has it here right side. Flashed the stick skills but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, It's darn close.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Luck now to throw. The pass complete to Ryan Graham. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2-2-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
But if you do it one bite at a time.
Okay.
That's the way they've got to play this, one play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye. One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
Intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Desperation time for Luck on 4th down. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game. But, boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away. Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
This is caught, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, and the Giants add on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Good for a Colt first down. The former Lion Ebron there bringing it in from Andrew Luck. On first down, it's Luck. Ebron caught left side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Again, Luck. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Luck toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw is Manning. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Locke. Brought in over the middle by Grant. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Now a 1st down throw. Locke. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 2nd and 10, Locke. He's going to let it fly. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Giants, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Colts, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.